Well, hey out there, fellow food loving friends. It's Bradford, your carnivore curmudgeon. And today I'm going to show you how I made this recently. Now, before you run screaming into the night because your delicate carnivore eyes caught a glimpse of a vegetable, please know that you can make this recipe carnivore or low carb. And it all started with this chuck roast. I got a 3 pound chuck roast on sale from my local grocery store, put it in a crock pot and cooked it overnight. Then, when I had an opportunity to get it out of the crock pot, I wanted to drain off all of the juice. I'm doing another video, so there was an additional purpose to this other than this soup recipe. So I got it all out and reserved all those delicious juices. I cooked that roast in about a cup of homemade beef stock and nothing else. Then, when it cooled down enough for me to handle, I poured it all into a mason jar, made sure to get all of that jus out of there and all the little tidbits that are left, wasting absolutely nothing from this 3 pound pot roast. Put on my handy dandy plastic mason jar cap, and into the fridge it went overnight. Now, the next day, of course, all that fat rose to the top, and so I took some of that fat out for yet another recipe I'm using, and no reason to waste that fat. Now, for me, drained hamburger fat can kind of have a weird texture, but this fat that comes off the roast works great for heating up other things and for other cooking purposes. So I'm going to save all that. Now, here's where you can don't worry about the onions, but if you like, you can put in a quarter of an onion, which is what I did here. And I added it to a pound and a half of ground beef. Nothing fancy, just some also marked down ground beef. That's just about the only way I buy meat is when it's marked down, which keeps my menu pretty versatile, never knowing exactly what's going to go on sale. Stirred it around for a little while till they started to get soft, and then eyeballed probably a teaspoon to a teaspoon and a half of garlic powder, followed by a couple of turns of black pepper, all of which is optional. A little bit of salt. I don't use too much salt because we all have salt preference tastes, the different levels of saltiness of things. So I don't cook with a lot of salt. We leave that to everybody after. After that ground beef is all stirred up, then I'm going to switch to a stock pot. And this is the My Place brand of stock pot. I really enjoy them. They work great. I'll probably do a year after video on these coming up. Some of that pot roast, that chuck roast that we had in the crock pot, I'm going to shred it up. I'm eyeballing all of this. I'm looking for just a certain kind of texture ratio between the ground beef and the chuck roast. Added another 2 cups of that homemade beef stock I mentioned before. You can certainly use store bought. And then, just for a little additional hint of flavor, in goes a couple of bay leaves. Now, a splash, perhaps as much as a tablespoon of Worcestershire sauce to give it a little bit of umami flavor. And I'm just going to bring this thing up to a good rolling boil at this point. Once that's achieved, in comes the evil bag of mixed vegetables: green beans, corn, carrots, and peas. Now, my wife and my son like vegetable beef soup, and so everything I make isn't just for me. And I might even eat some of this. That whole bag has, uh, gosh, 40 grams of carbs for the whole bag, and I put in a 1 pound bag there. So I'm not terribly concerned about overloading myself with carbs. Ugh, that was my phone, not yours. It hasn't stopped all weekend. Anyway, back to our soup. So at this point, I'm going to once again raise the heat until I get a good rolling boil going. And once that happens, I'm going to turn it down and let it simmer. And this is where it's up to you. How thick do you want it? How thin do you want it? If you want it more soupy, it's ready to eat. If you want to let it reduce down a little bit and sort of make those flavors even better together, then by all means, just let it go until you're satisfied with it. Then there's nothing left to do but serve it up. And the cold weather is starting to get to us, get here where we live, and so this was a big hit with both Mrs. Curmudgeon and Curmudgeon Jr. So give this a try. It's and again, you can make it completely carnivore. Just stop when the beef juice and the beef is all heated up, and you're good to go. Or make it a low carb treat, or make it a low carb staple. Simply up to you, but it is a good weapon in your armory of delicious, nutritious food. If you give it a try, let me know how it turned out. And thanks for watching. I hope to see you next time.